When did you realize your partner was the person you wanted to marry? I was a seaman, an engineer officer deep sea, and was home on leave at my home in the Isle of Wight, a small island off the south coast of England. Every night my best mate and I would spend our time in the local pub playing darts and drinking Goose Island beer, but one night we decided that we were becoming bored with the routine. My best mate remarked that he had heard a dance at a hotel on the other side of the island, and it might be worth checking it out. So that was where we headed. As we walked into the hotel we bumped into another guy and his wife, the other guy having served his apprenticeship with my mate. We all decided to get a table together, and while everyone was getting settled I volunteered to get the first round of drinks. At the bar, I was ordering the drinks when I became aware of a girl standing close behind me, and when I glanced round there was this apparition in a figure-hugging red dress with a high Chinese collar. I smiled at her and received a slightly nervous smile in return. Being a seaman every opportunity should be noticed, so I asked her if I could buy her a drink. She agreed that I could, so I pleaded with her to wait momentarily while I took the drinks I had ordered for friends back to the table, when I would be back in seconds if not before. As I turned from the table she was there again right behind me, and I began to wonder what the F was going on. Then my new friend's wife said, "Oh, this is my sister Eileen. I asked her to help you with the drinks." Eileen was Irish but working for the Guardian newspaper in London, and was visiting her sister for the weekend. She and I danced that night away, and she entranced me. She was fiercely intelligent as, I suppose, she had to be for the job she did, and she was very much her own woman while remaining totally feminine. At the end of the evening I asked if she really had to go back to London in the morning, because I had a week left of my leave from my ship, and I would love to show her round the sights of the island. "I'll ask," she said. The next morning she called me. "I can take a week off if you really want?" We spent that week together wandering all over the island, eating dinner in the little pubs in the back of Beyond, exploring the tiny coves around the coast, enjoying the views over the sea from the downs. Then, the dreaded telegram came at the end of the week: join SS in Savannah, Georgia on date. Collect airline tickets from the London head office. "I'm sorry," I said. "I have to go." "I know," she whispered. There was something in her eyes when she looked at me then. I didn't understand it, but it transfixed me. Suddenly I knew that I didn't want to lose her. On impulse I said, "I don't want this to end. I'll be away for around 6 months, so, oh hell, will you marry me?" "Oh yes," she whispered. When I next came home we married in a church in her hometown of Waterford in Ireland, with all of her family in attendance, and I stood on the steps of that church with that utterly beautiful Irish girl on my arm, and I was the proudest man in the whole of the British Isles. Her family, and mine, thought we were both completely mad. How could we decide to marry when we had only known each other for a week? It couldn't possibly last, could it? Well, it did. It happened that I had just reached the end of my contract, so I didn't sign on again and I left the service to be with her. 50 years later, with 2 very successful children, we are still together and she is still my beautiful Irish girl.